I'm currently sitting on the floor at the moment, so I need to work on my stretches because I am not flexible whatsoever. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that I think a lot of us can learn from, and that is healing your emotional and psychological trauma and inner child wounds. I think it's fair to say that if you're watching this video, then you've probably been through your own experiences that have negatively shaped the quality of your life, whether that is stemmed from being disconnected or feeling isolated or not feeling safe or not feeling worthy. Just to understand how trauma occurs a little bit more deeper, it often happens when you're least expecting it, when you feel powerless to prevent it, when it often happens repeatedly, when someone is intentionally cruel, or in your childhood. They often stem from a number of different experiences, including emotional neglect, surviving abuse, the loss of someone, whether that be a breakup or a death, a decline in health, etc. As sad as it truly is, when a child suffers trauma, it often has quite a severe and long-lasting effect compared to adults, and this is because children aren't built with the knowledge and the wisdom and the experiences that we have learnt as we've grown into our adult life. And children are a lot more innocent-like, and they have a lot more of an innocent state of mind, so they're always having the best intentions for others. And I think when you're first born into this world, you don't know what people are really like, or you don't know how you're going to be treated, but you think, you assume, you hope that you will be safe. And when you face trauma as a child, you begin to see the world as a very frightening and unsafe place to be in. And when it's not resolved, a sense of fear and helplessness can be carried over into our adult life. And that in itself builds more trauma on top of the trauma that you already have. Most people who carry their childhood wounds bury it so deep inside of themselves as a type of coping mechanism to protect themselves, but it doesn't heal the pain. Instead, it often resurfaces by showing up as distress in personal relationships or having difficulty meeting your own needs. If we can work to heal our inner child, then we can work to address the negative experiences that we think define who we are. If we work to heal our inner child, we can work to address the negative experiences that we think defines who we are. Which isn't true, doesn't define who we are at all. I think honoring the pain that you feel or felt, and honoring the negative experiences that you went through, is so important when it comes to beginning the process of healing your inner child. It's also so important to give yourself permission to grieve and not run away from it. I think something that's almost quite awkward or uncomfortable to do at first is to talk with your younger self, talk with your inner child. And what I mean by that is sit with yourself in silence, close your eyes, imagine yourself in a safe space, the safest, most loving space that you can think of for you. And then imagine that your younger self is there with you. What would you say to them? What would you talk to them about? How would you talk to them? These are all very important and valid questions when you're trying to unlock the battle that you had to face growing up and the wounds that you were trying to heal. The best way I like to think of this is start talking to your younger self and address them as you would a best friend. Nurture them with kind words and say everything to them that maybe your younger self didn't get the chance to hear. It's different for everyone, but I personally like to visualize myself going up to my younger self, smiling at them, embracing in a really big long hug, picking them up, twirling them around, and most importantly, telling them that they are now safe and that they are loved. But if visualization isn't something for you, I would really recommend writing a letter to your younger self, because that works just as well too. I think writing about childhood memories from an older perspective may help give you more insight and more explanation for the distressing situations that you went through that you may have not understood back then. Whether it's visualization or writing a letter, give yourself the chance to offer guidance and reassurance to your younger self. The key here is to fill your younger self with so much love. And don't be afraid to ask some hard-hitting questions, because the bottom line is that we want to open ourselves up to the pain rather than push it away. And this is the step forward to healing our inner child wounds and past trauma. At this point, you might feel really doubtful and resistant to the idea of imagining yourself speaking with your younger self or writing a letter to your younger self. It might seem really ridiculous, or it might be really silly to you, but I think without exploring the past, you'll have an even harder time beginning the journey of healing. When you open the door to connecting with your inner child, it's so important to observe the feelings and the emotions that come up, such as anger through unmet needs, abandonment, guilt, shame, rejection, and so on. If you're able to trace these feelings back to specific childhood events, you may realize a pattern that has continued into your adult life that trigger the same responses. When I was first doing this, I had to keep reminding myself to observe the feelings that came up and allow myself to fully experience them rather than constantly pushing them away. If you've gone through a really difficult and severe type of trauma in your life, then facing this step head on is going to be really, really uncomfortable for you. And I'm just going to lay it out on the cards and be transparent with you guys because it's the truth. But I want you to know that it's completely normal to be feeling this way, especially when you're opening up past wounds that maybe you feel like you've repressed and have avoided going back into. But it's completely essential going towards healing your past wounds and the trauma that you've faced. If your childhood lacked positive experiences, then getting back in touch with your playful side and making time for fun things can help heal the pain of missing out on what you needed as a child. I think it's so important, especially as we get older, to continue cherishing our inner child, our younger self, and do this for the rest of our lives. And we can do this by embracing the big things and the small things that bring us a lot of pleasure. Take time to sit with yourself and think about things that the child version of you would have enjoyed and that you would still enjoy now, as well as things that you in your current age also enjoy now. Whatever the activity, make sure to always set aside time to incorporate this into your life and to rekindle the fun, the lightheartedness part of your soul and bring it back to life. When you can rekindle these positive emotions, you're really able to break through that bashful, playful, adorable, silly, incredibly amazing person that you are, the child within you that is bursting to come out. Once the connection between your present self and your younger self has been made, it's so important to maintain this loving awareness and the loyalty to work through it. It's important to have the patience because you can't expect yourself to be able to immediately try and talk with your younger self. For some people, it's going to be so difficult to try and have that conversation, and it might not happen then and there. But the thing that is the most important is to keep trying and have that patience, have that awareness, that loving awareness that even though it didn't work today, I'm going to try again tomorrow, or I'm going to try again in a few more days. And if again that still doesn't work, remind yourself of the loving awareness and the patience that you're giving yourself to actually get up and try. And I think after enough times, you'll get to a point where you are able to have that conversation and have that discussion with your younger self. And it's all a process and it takes time. So be easy with yourself, be gentle with yourself, love yourself as best as you can in this moment. Just remind yourself that the self-compassion and the love to give and to receive is always there for you. One thing worth mentioning is don't be surprised if you notice more challenges starting to arise as you begin unshackling the inner child wounds and the trauma that you have gone through. It is sometimes inevitable, and sometimes you won't even notice that there is more to uncover that you have gone through. It's a really great opportunity for you to learn more about yourself, and as an older person, like I had said earlier, to gain more insight and understanding of the situations that you had gone through. So rather than perceiving these challenges negatively, perceive them as an opportunity for you to continue working through your battles and becoming a better, stronger, more incredible version of yourself. Be loving, be supportive, be encouraging, tell yourself how an incredible fucking badass you are, because you are. You freaking are. And you just need that reminder. And I think once you continue your journey and you begin to make this process of working through your trauma and getting yourself through it, you will see how much of a difference it has made on your life by making the first step. Ultimately, the more that we work on our inner child wounds and past trauma, the more that we can gain back our confidence and learn to express our emotions in more healthier ways. Alright, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I always get so excited when I'm filming a YouTube video because it's my opportunity to express the experiences that I've gone through and to help other people to live their best life. So I thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on this video or any other different alternatives that have helped you heal through trauma. I think it's so important for us to learn from each other, and I really love connecting with you guys. So I really look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Alright, bye! Don't ask why I'm on the floor. I just decided.